to human resources for the people. It's a human capital revolution. We're going to be talking about a new New York law that goes into effect September of 2023, and it requires employers to list salary ranges for all advertised jobs and promotions in New York State. And the governor says that this will make New York to continue being the best place to work, and will usher in a new era of fairness and transparency for New York's workforce and be a critical tool in our efforts to end pervasive pay gaps for women of color. The the press release from New York State continues to discuss the idea that um, there are disparities in pay and that this will help workers and arm them with critical information in order to reduce discrimination. I'm not quite sure that this law will do that, uh, but we'll get into it. So the new law is similar to the other pay transparencies in New York and Ithaca and Westchester County, New York City, of course, and allows for a good faith minimum and maximum pay range. I to be included in the posting. It's kind of interesting, a fixed pay rate is a little bit outside the scope of this law, right? Because allowing for a fixed pay rate is the issue is the ranges, right? And the idea that communities could be discriminated against by being on the low end of the range. But a fixed pay rate is just that. Eh, I don't know how you would, fix the law to account for it. I think it's, intelligent and makes sense. Um, but it is. I guess I'm more stunned at the localities that do not allow for a fixed rate and require a range. Um, it, it does note that those laws allow for the minimum and maximum to be the same number, which again is sort of funny, but it is what it is. And again, I think it's kind of curious on my part. The source, which I'll link below, talks about how the state law goes further than the local law because it requires a job description, which, thankfully it doesn't define one, right? It doesn't require a specific layout or anything of that nature. But it's again, it reminds me of Ron Swanson's job description that he posts in there, just to comply with the nature of the law. When Ron Swanson looks for someone and it's like one line, and it looks like it took him like 2 seconds, right? I guess you can comply by doing this. I think that making a job description, it has no, contractual requirements. There's no value in a job description because it will always say uh, any other duties as assigned or something of that nature. And so job descriptions, while important from an ADA perspective and a few other perspectives, is really not valuable in this context whatsoever. And the job can change, at a moment's notice. The law requires that you maintain records of the pay ranges for advertised positions. These sort of record keeping and things of this nature, it may be a little bit um, arduous for a smaller company. I just, a company that is, 15, 20 people, a company that really doesn't have these resources is now reduced to both keeping a pay range and keeping track of that information, all to fulfill a law that probably won't have any real impact on disparities in income, is really a little bit silly and frustrating on many levels. So, will this new pay transparency law uh, have any effect? What will it do? It's effective September 18th, 2023. and that's when they'll be required to comply with the new pay transparency law in New York. I know that I think it was in Colorado, many employers were just refusing to post jobs for Colorado remote employees because it wasn't valuable for them to put the remote job in there, or put the job in Colorado just so that they didn't have to comply. So will employers not put New York, exclude applicants from New York uh, just to circumvent this law? Yeah, probably. Many might, at least remote workers. I know that that was happening in Colorado. I know that many employers said, "Hey, people from Colorado, please do not apply." Will that have a long-term effect? No, probably not. Frankly, not. Will it achieve the pay transparency and the increase in gains? We haven't really seen it. We haven't seen any positive impact from pay transparency laws in the municipalities and states where it's been enacted. So I would tend to say no. I would tend to say that there's actually no evidence that this will have any effect on dispelling disparities in the workplace, on dispelling pay disparities. I just don't think it will have any impact. I think that continued training and outreach and development of communities has a powerful impact. I think a strong economy and things that, frankly aren't related to businesses will reduce disparities by kind of stronger macroeconomic wins. But this in New York, listen, I'd love to see the data. It's long been speculated against. It's long been considered, but I really haven't seen it, and I don't think we will. I don't think that that will be a value added. I think it's just another punishment for business to comply with sort of the whims of speculation and non-science based speculation. But I'd love to hear what you think. Please like, share, comment, and tell me what you think in the video below. Will it impact the pay and decrease transparency? I want to hear it. Love to hear from you. Bye bye. Have a great day.